Good evening. Welcome to Quest 30 News for Wednesday, April 17, 2002. I'm Allie Keller.
And I'm Jennifer Segreto.
Welcome. James Marshall, Ph.D., Assistant Professor of Health Management in the School of Business at Quinnipiac, died early Tuesday, April 9th, at the Hospital of St. Raphael in New Haven, following a sudden illness. James taught students about public health practices, long-term health care, and healthcare information systems. He actively participated in Quinnipiac's Community Clusters program, advised the Black Student Union, and chaired the Black History Month Committee. In September, New Haven Business Times presented Marshall with a 40 Under 40 award, which recognized individuals under age 40 who excel in professional achievement and community involvement. Marshall held a bachelor's degree in English and pre-med from Union College, a master's in business administration from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and a PhD in business administration from Arizona State University. He joined the Quinnipiac faculty in 1998. Funeral services were held on April 19th in Syracuse, New York, where Marshall was raised. A campus memorial service was held today in the School of Business. We would like to send our prayers and support to the Marshalls as well as his friends, faculty, and students.
Judy Woodruff, CNN's prime anchor and senior correspondent, delivered a lecture on April 16th in Alumni Hall. Woodruff is a 30-year veteran of broadcast journalism who joined CNN in 1993, now anchoring Inside Politics, the nation's first program devoted exclusively to politics. Woodruff co-anchors CNN's special coverage of events such as political conventions and summits. She covered the 2000 presidential election, moderated the Phoenix Republican presidential debate in November 1999, as well as covering the UN World Conference on Women in Beijing. Woodruff is a founding co-chair of the International Women's Media Foundation, an organization dedicated to promoting and encouraging women in the communication industries worldwide. Woodruff earned a bachelor's degree from Duke University, where she is a trustee.
On February 6th, Quinnipiac revised its academic integrity policy. The policy stresses the importance of honesty, trust, responsibility, fairness, as well as respect. Quinnipiac is enforcing this policy in order to encourage personal and academic integrity. This means that school officials will not tolerate plagiarism, misrepresentation, and fabrication in any academic work. Students who violate the policy will have to go to an academic judicial hearing. This policy is administered by the Office of Academic Affairs. This will be in effect in the fall of 2002.
Quinnipiac is offering internships in Washington, D.C. during the summer and fall semester. Summer programs are for credit or no credit. The fall semester program is 15 credits. These internships are open to all majors. Summer internships include working for U.S. Representative Jim Maloney, Senator Lieberman, and the American Enterprise Institute. Fall internships include working for the White House and the U.S. State Department. The summer deadline is May 1st, and the fall deadline is June 14th. If you are interested, contact Scott McLean at extension 8686 or in College of Liberal Arts, room 308. The panel discussion, New York City after September 11th, Rebuilding, Redeveloping, Remembering, will be held on Monday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. in Buckman Theater. The panel will discuss the art and architecture of New York City after the attacks. Panelists include architects, artists, and witnesses of the plane crash. Refreshments will be served. For more information, call extension 8652. It's been very hot recently, so right now we have Marissa with the weather report.
Let's start out with a look at the Western Hemisphere tonight. Take a look at the Midwestern U.S. and you can see a storm system that will be moving in on Saturday morning. But other than that, there's no major weather activity taking place anywhere around the country other than the usual spring showers up in the Seattle region. Moving on into the Northeast, Connecticut seems to have been struck with an unusual spring heat wave. Today's high of 88 matched the record set back in 1990, while we hit an evening low of 63. This low would have normally been expected to be the high for today during this spring day. Let's take a look at this afternoon's northeast satellite loop, where we see that a cold front is moving in from the northwest through the New England states and into Connecticut. This front is represented by those cooler temperatures that we will be feeling toward the end of the week. Taking a look at storm track Doppler radar, we see no precipitation headed towards Connecticut today or tomorrow. If you'll be doing some traveling, some light showers are expected around Scranton, New Jersey, and to the west of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as well as down in Washington, D.C. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, on Wednesday, temperatures continue to remain high at 87 with an expected low of around 62. Thursday brings a high of 82 and a low of 54. That cool front means that the nights will be getting cooler and cooler again, and we will see lower temperatures all around. Showers Saturday morning will bring us to a temperature of 68, and this cooler weather will trickle into Sunday, when we expect a high temperature of 62 and a low of 42. So although we started out the week with sunshine and heat, we will be ending the weekend on slightly cooler and rainier note. That's your weather for this week. Enjoy the warm weather while you can. Back to you.
Thank you, Marissa. I can't believe it's going to be that hot. Oh. For all those who are interested in teaching, Dr. Peter Doolittle, Director of Educational Psychology Program at Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University, will present an Excellence in Education seminar series lecture titled Mindful Teaching, Practical Strategies for Practical Teachers. The lecture will be held at 2:30 on April 24th in the Manchesky Seminar Room in the School of Business. Quinnipiac is also going international this week with a number of events. Today, April 17th, the RAT prepared a number of international foods. The International Club will present a film, The New Cinema Paradise, in Eklund Lecture Hall, Thursday, April 18th. The film won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film and also won 5 British Academy Awards. To end the cultural celebration on Friday the 19th, the cafeteria will serve an international cuisine and have a guest speaker. And for all of those who are getting low on meal points, the dinner is free. Reservations are required, so contact Jennifer Hutton at quinnipiac.edu.
Apocalypse Now, a film based on the novel The Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, will be shown on Saturday, April 20th in the Mass Communications Screening Room at 1 p.m. A discussion on the differences between the movie and the book will follow. This event is sponsored by the English Club and Fade In.
People often find themselves in difficult situations. However, the Secrets of Success seminar can teach you how to handle them. The School of Business, Board of Advisors, and the BIC Leadership Development Program will present a panel discussion on how business leaders deal with sticky situations. Topics will include the 9/11 disaster, sexual harassment, the rumor mill moral failure among management, mergers and acquisitions, incompetent alcoholism, substance abuse, as well as other topics. The discussion will be held Monday, April 22nd from 3:30 to 5 p.m. in the Manchesky Seminar Room. A new University of Connecticut poll shows that Connecticut Governor John Rowland has a substantial lead over his 2 Democratic opponents in this year's election. In a one-on-one race, Rowland would beat Bill Curry by 54 to 29%. Against Senate Majority Leader George Japsen, Rowland would lead by 57 to 26%. Rowland's favorability rating slipped to 58% from a January high of 64%. The telephone poll of 428 registered voters was conducted between April 3rd and the 15th. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 14 percentage points. 4 percentage points, excuse me. Well, Eric Jackson is here with the sports, Quinnipiac, and whatever else you got.
That's right. Let's take a look at what's going on in QU sports this week. On Sunday, QU men's baseball added a win to their season, defeating Mount St. Mary's 7-5. Scoring for QU were Dan Abrahams, Charles D'Elia, Al Morano, Sal Puccio, and Brian McGee with 1 run, and Travis LaPointe with 3. Junior pitcher John Melillo kept the Mount back at a safe distance until they scored 4 runs at the top of the 9th inning. The game ended when freshman pitcher Chris Getch struck out Chris Staub of the Mount. With this being QU's 6th win, the team surpassed last year's win already. Also on Sunday, QU men's tennis was defeated by Monmouth 5-2. The only wins for QU came from singles Eric Raimondo and Fabian Valasis and the doubles team of Tennehouse and Valasis. The loss dropped QU to a record of 4-10. On Monday, QU men's golf ended up in 12th place at the New England Division I Championships held in Providence, Rhode Island. The team shot a total of 313 that allowed them to move up 2 spots from their 14th place standing on Saturday. Also on Monday, QU women's tennis was in action against UMass. Despite singles wins by QU's Catherine L. and Heather Rom, the team lost 4-3. On Tuesday, QU men's baseball was back in action against CW Post. QU defeated CW Post 12-7, making this their second straight win this week. Scoring for Quinnipiac were Keith Avery, Charles D'Elia, Al Morano, Sal Puccio, and Seth Levine with 2 runs each, and Steve Silverstein and Chris Stoneja with 1 each. The men were defeated this afternoon by Holy Cross 9-2. Finally, tonight, let's take a look at what we've got coming up for you later on this week in QU sports. On Thursday, softball is away at Holy Cross. Friday, women's lacrosse is home against Sacred Heart. This weekend is a busy one in QU sports. On Saturday, we've got men's baseball home versus FDU, men's lax home versus Hartford, softball away versus Wagner, and men and women's track both away at the Husky Invitational in Boston. Wrapping up the weekend on Sunday is women's lax again away at Vermont and men's tennis away at Holy Cross.
Thanks for that sports update, Eric. The latest news on the war against terrorism is that the U.S. has discovered that Osama bin Laden was present during last winter's bombing of the Tora Bora caves in Afghanistan. A failure to commit ground troops to hunt down bin Laden means that he escapes alive, evidently during the first 10 days of the attack in early December. Captured al-Qaeda fighters have told U.S. intelligence officers that Osama bin Laden made a speech to Mujahideen fighters on or around December 3rd.
Roman Catholic Church observers have cautioned people not to accept sweeping changes after the Pope meets with U.S. Cardinals next week. The Cardinals will meet next Tuesday and Wednesday and are expected to talk about the serious sexual allegations being brought against dozens of Catholic priests across the country accused of being pedophiles. Allegations have also been made that bishops attempted to cover up reported activity. Theodore McCarrick, Archbishop of the Diocese of Washington, D.C., came to the defense of his church on Tuesday, saying that the pedophile scandals have been overblown. In a letter to Washington area Catholics, McCarrick said, quote, "We must not allow the numbers that are being mentioned in the press to lead us into a false understanding of this terrible situation."
Deborah L. Martin, Dean of the School of Natural Sciences at Hampshire College in Amherst, Massachusetts, will be here at Quinnipiac on April 24th. She will be presenting a lecture entitled Brain Surgery, Pregnancy Tests, and False Teeth, Ancient Inventions in Healthcare. The event is sponsored by Quinnipiac's Sigma Chi chapter and is free and open to the public. Martin, who is also a professor of biological anthropology and is the director of the school's U.S., Southwest, and Mexico program, received her doctorate degree from UMass Amherst. Her work focuses on patterns of morality in women and children, identifying groups at risk, and Native and Southwestern studies. She is a Sigma Chi Distinguished Lecturer. For more information on this lecture, you can contact James Kirby at extension 8275.
Quinnipiac Heads women basketball coach Trisha Shaka-Fabry was inducted into the Connecticut Women's Basketball Hall of Fame on April 11th at the organization's 15th annual induction ceremony. Shaka-Fabry joins the likes of former UConn Husky Jen Rizzotti and Boston College women's basketball coach Kathy Inglis. She played basketball for Fairfield University for 4 years, during which time she led the Stags to 2 NCAA tournaments. She is also a member of the Delran, New Jersey High School Athletic Hall of Fame and the Fairfield University Athletic Hall of Fame. Shaka-Fabry became the head coach of the Quinnipiac women's team in 1995 and has overseen the transition from Division II to Division I. In the 2000-2001 season, Shaka-Fabry was named the NEC Coach of the Year after leading her team to a 16-13 record. This past season, the team went 13-14 and reached the NEC tournament quarterfinals before losing to Sacred Heart. Well, that wraps up this edition of Quest's 30 News. I had a good time.
I did too.
I did too.
Stay tuned. We're going to have our last and final show in a week from today, and that'll be on Wednesday, airing probably live at 9 p.m. So catch us on Quest 30. That's going to be interesting. You all ready for that show?
We're ready.
Good.
I'm ready.
I'm Jennifer Segreto.
I'm Allie Keller,
Thanks for watching.
and that's Eric. Good night.
All right.